Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining Mystic Fitness once again. My name is Kelly, and I'm here to teach you for the next hour of this live yoga flow. So, as you guys start to tune in here, thank you for your continued support. We are so happy that you are part of our community and you keep showing us inspiration. You keep showing us the love that we need to continue teaching, continue spreading this practice to our community. So just a couple of quick announcements. So our Mystic Fitness YouTube is up and running. So if you guys use YouTube, or maybe you're new to YouTube and you've never used it before, you can go ahead and check us out. Look up Mystic Fitness on YouTube. You'll see us there with our bright pink and purple logo. And if you like and subscribe to our channel, we would very much appreciate that. We're trying to build as much content as we possibly can to keep people engaged and keep people moving, especially in this time when we are feeling a little housebound. Another announcement is our Mystic Fitness Venmo account is up and running. If you guys are in a financial situation where you can support us through a donation, that would be greatly appreciated, but is in no way necessary to enjoy these classes. If you do donate, you're going to get one of these beautiful handmade masks. So they're made by our very own Mary Beth, and she is doing such a service for our community by providing our city with masks to keep us protected. And I know I've said it before, but Whole Foods in Framingham has now just announced that you do need a mask to go into Whole Foods to keep everybody safe. So this is a perfect opportunity to get a handmade and reusable mask. So thank you, Mary Beth. We're so glad that she's part of our community. And as you guys are starting to tune in here, if you have any requests for class, please make your comments. I know I got a request from someone yesterday for neck and shoulder. So we're going to get into some neck and shoulder stretches this morning. I forget who commented, but I remember the request. So if you guys are just tuning in right now, go ahead and grab your mats, maybe blocks or something that you're using as your blocks, a pillow. Get set up in your little yoga space. We'd love to see what your yoga space looks like. If you want to post a picture or send us a picture, we'd love to see that. So let's go ahead and get started. Find yourself in a seated position, but if you prefer to lay down, you can find a reclined position as we begin our breath work here. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for commenting. Go ahead and take a deep inhale and exhale. Allow yourself to slowly start to find the ground beneath you. And those first couple breaths in our practice really start to set the stage for our practice. Maybe this morning you're imagining yourself as a seed planted into the dirt. Allowing your roots to descend into the soil deeper and deeper. This grounding process allows a sprout to start to grow up towards the sun. Vibrant green vine just emerging from the earth. Imagining that green sprout as your breath moving up, reaching all the way to your collarbones. And then the exhale, imagining that energy going all the way down, back into the soil and into your roots. as you breathe here, giving yourself an opportunity to grow and expand. And visualizing this beautiful nature that you are a part of. You are a child of this earth, just like the stars, the trees. Take 5 more deep and intentional breaths here. As you take your next inhale, start to rub the palms together, waking up the nerve endings of the hands and bringing a little warmth into your palms. And then planting these hands over your heart, feeling that warmth just kind of seep into your chest. Just for a moment, imagine yourself as the magical being that you are. We'll begin our practice with the vibration together, a single sound of Om, starting with a cleansing breath to prepare in and out. And for Om, inhale. Have a wonderful practice. With the next inhale, let's circle sweep our arms up. And then just rotate the wrists a couple times in all directions. It's very important that we warm up our upper body joints properly for a little bit of weight bearing. So our legs and lower body are used to that, where our upper body needs a little warming up before we get into that. Bringing the fingertips on the shoulders and then just stretching your wings, opening your arms up and over, down and away from the ears. And then taking that in the opposite direction. And then I'd like to get into some neck and shoulder stretches that were requested in yesterday's class, or after yesterday's class. So let's just start by dropping the right ear over towards right shoulder, allowing your neck to kind of swing forward into the other side. Just take these rolls a couple times. If you prefer a full circle, maybe going for a full circle and changing directions, or maybe you're just going in a half circle rotation. Try to keep that spine nice and long here. And then opening the arms up into a T and taking the right arm and kind of crossing it over the head, touching your left ear, and then dropping the left fingertips towards the ground. We're going to use just enough pressure of that right hand kind of placed on the left side of your head to kind of pull the left ear away from your left shoulder. Now make this nice and gentle. We're not kind of yanking, but we're doing this nice and slowly. And it also feels really good to just kind of sway that left arm from left to right and back and forth. If you're looking to make this a little bit more intense, sometimes I like to bring my left fingers on my shoulder and kind of peel my left shoulder away from my ear. Make sure that breath is still coming in nice and natural here. And then we'll release and take that to the other side. First, start by opening the arms up into a T. Gaze comes up. And then with the exhale, bringing the gaze back to center, taking your left hand over right ear, dropping right fingertips towards the ground, and just finding a little bit of opening, pulling that right ear away from right shoulder. And then to make this become a little bit more fluid, maybe you start to bring the right fingertips towards the front of your mat and then towards the back of your mat. And eventually, maybe you take those right fingertips onto the shoulder and just kind of use this energy of pulling the hands away from one another. Eventually, releasing out of this stretch, go ahead and just shake the head no, and then shake it yes. We're going to come up onto our knees here, and I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do from the side. So from on our knees, you're either going to take your hands towards your lower back or maybe interlace them behind the lower back and just take a gentle back bend as you open up your throat towards the sky. So this back bend can just be as simple as dropping your head and opening your throat, pulling those shoulders away from the ears. If you'd like to make this a little bit more intense, remember this is the beginning of your class, so take it nice and slow. Breathe in. And with the exhale, release your arms, open them up to a T, and then bring the fingertips towards one another as you look towards the belly. Inhale, open up your spine. Maybe you interlace hands behind the back, pulling that chest open and gaze goes up. And with the exhale, bringing those fingertips to touch as you curl through the spine. Let's find one more here. Inhale, peeling the chest open. Arms can stay into a T, or maybe you interlace and open up. And with the exhale, curling the spine. Let's go ahead and transition into your table pose. So I hope those stretches help your shoulders and your neck. It was requested after yesterday's class. So if you have any requests after today's class, go ahead and comment them. I'd love to be inspired by you guys. Inhale, dropping the chest, gazing forward. Exhale, curling the spine, looking towards the belly. Again, inhale for that cow pose, arching your spine. And exhale, cat pose as you curl into it. Find about 3 more here. In and out. And eventually the body is going to kind of chime in and ask for more movement. So that can include rocking the hips from left and then to right. Maybe some full pelvic bowl circles here, dropping the hips over towards the right, swinging it back and over towards the left. Allow your body to welcome these movements, taking it in the opposite rotation when that feels right for your body. Some gentle back and forth presses. So really what's important as we're moving in this table pose is to just let yourself be curious. Move in a way that feels best. There's no wrong way to move. What's important is that your body is welcoming the movements and that you're not forcing any openings. Eventually, let's pause in our child's pose for just a minute, getting a little stretch through the hips. I like to rock from left to right here. And just kind of take this moment to show gratitude for your mat, show gratitude for this practice. Maybe once again, picturing that little seed with the sprout coming out. With each movement and breath, maybe that sprout grows just another centimeter. Maybe by the end of our class, we'll have a beautiful blooming flower at the top of our sprout. Let's go ahead and come back into our table pose. Find a flat back, so that location right between your arch and your curl where you feel nice and long through the spine, and the chin is kind of tucked here. So the neck is a natural extension of the spine. Activating our core by tucking the toes under and lifting the knees to just a hover. Super important to know what those core muscles feel like before we really test them out. So this is kind of like a little mic check, if you will, for your core. You're learning what that feels like to activate, how that belly starts to pull in, but breath is still natural. Breathe in. And with the exhale, go ahead and land those knees back onto the ground. Press back into a child's pose. And then roll up back into your table pose. We're going to find that one more time and let that take us into our downward facing dog. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees to just a hover for 5, 4, really spread those fingers wide, push the floor away, 2, and 1. Hips pull up and back, downward facing dog. Good morning. It's a beautiful sunny Thursday. And I just got a beautiful donation of a bike, and I'm so grateful. I rode my bike to Mystic this morning, and it was just absolutely amazing to enjoy that. Start to pedal your feet. And if you guys are looking for something to do, the Papa Wheelies is the store name, and it's on Route 9, and it is open for purchase a new bike. And if you have an old bike that needs a little TLC, you can bring it in there and they will fix it up for you. It takes about a day. Finding some back and forth presses. Inhale, bend the knees, hips pull up and back, bent knee dog, and exhale, plank pose. Inhale, pull it up and back, bent knee dog, exhale, plank. Let's find 3 more here. Starting to turn that inner flame on, create some synovial fluid through the joints. Eventually returning back to your downward facing dog, taking a deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Take a moment in your forward fold to shake the head, yes and no. Keep a deep bend in the knees. Maybe grab onto opposite elbow and sway from side to side in a ragdoll posture. Just giving yourself a moment in this forward fold to kind of enjoy this new perspective. Enjoy the release that you can get through the neck and shoulders. And then we'll begin to flow here, bringing the fingertips towards the shins. Inhale as your halfway lift. Extend that crown long. And exhale, fold. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant. Go ahead and step or hop back to your plank pose. In your plank pose, this is where you get to choose what kind of chaturanga you want today. So if you're looking for a little bit more support, those knees are going to drop to the ground. You're going to slowly lower the elbows back and find your low cobra by peeling that chest up. If you want your full version of chaturanga, breathe in. Exhale, slowly lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog or that low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog for 2 breaths in and out. So throughout class today, choose whatever version of chaturanga works best for you. Know that you can always bump it up a notch as well by adding extra push-ups. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's do that a little faster this time. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift once again. Exhale, fold, hands plant, stepping or hopping back to your plank pose. Breathe it in as you choose which version works best for you. Exhale, slowly lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. Open that chest up. If you're in your up dog, squeeze those glutes and thighs. Keep the knees lifted. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. One more here. Inhale, right leg reaches up towards the sky, and then bend and extend that right leg a couple times. Getting some movement into the knee, and maybe you decide to open up your hip here by letting that right heel drop over towards left glute. Try to maintain even weight distributed through the hands and shoulders. Inhale to lengthen right leg, square your hips, and with the exhale, pulling right knee towards chest. Inhale, lengthen it up. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Hold here. Kick that right leg through and open up to a side plank. So left arm is going to swing open here. Breathe in and out. Inhale, press those hips up. And exhale, return back to your three-leg dog. Kick that right leg up towards the sky. And exhale, knee comes in towards the chest. Step to your runner's lunge. So that right foot comes towards right knee. And in your runner's lunge, you might decide to take blocks underneath the hands and set this pose up, making sure the feet are hip distance apart. Right heel is firmly planted into the ground. Left ball of your left foot is planted towards the back of your mat, and that energy is for the back of your room. From here, inhale, arms reach up, finding your crescent lunge. So in your crescent lunge, you want to make sure that you didn't lose that activity of right knee tracking with right ankle. You might need to walk the feet a little bit closer together. We're going to take 10 dips here. Inhale, lifting through the limbs. Exhale, dipping down, pulling the elbows towards the back of your room. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, dip. 8. Use that breath. 7. 6. 4. 3. Feel that blood flowing through your legs. 2. 1. Inhale, arms reach. And exhale, dipping down, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to your proper crescent lunge. Transferring that weight into the right leg and pulling left knee in towards the chest. Interlacing the hands on left shin and just rotating that ankle a couple times. Breathe it in. Let it go. Taking the hands off of the thigh or shin and bringing the hands towards the hip. Keeping that left foot lifted. We're going to find 10 toe taps here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left knee pulls back in towards the chest. Give it one more squeeze. That right leg is burning. And then go ahead and land that left foot on the ground. Inhale, arm circle, sweep up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold. Inhale is your halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, stepping back to your plank pose. Breathe it in. Exhale is chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or that low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's find 2 deep breaths. All right, now I have to remember that on the other side. You guys ready? Inhale, left leg reaches up. Bend and extend that left leg a couple times. Open up your hip by letting that left heel drop over towards the right. Once again, extending left leg, square the hips. Inhale. Exhale, pulling the knee in towards the chest. Inhale, lengthen left leg back up. Exhale, that left knee comes over towards right elbow, and then kick that left leg through, opening up to your side plank with a left leg extension. So pressing the hips up, right fingertips reach, inhale, and exhale. One more inhale, feel those obliques. Exhale, returning back to center, left leg reaches up and back. And exhale, pulling left knee in towards the chest, stepping to your runner's lunge. From here, once again, I like to take my hands on blocks and make sure that I'm properly aligned here with my feet hip distance apart. Activity through that left heel and ball of the right foot. As I find my connection here, now I can start to peel myself up to my high crescent lunge. Finding 10 dips here. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, dip, elbows pull back. In and dip. We got 8 more. 7. If you feel unsteady, maybe those feet need to be a little bit more hip distance apart. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold in that dip, hands to hips. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. One more breath. Returning back to your proper crescent lunge, arms reach up. Start to transfer that weight into the left foot as you pull right knee in towards the chest, giving the shin a squeeze with interlaced fingers, rotating the ankle. This is your standing wind relieving posture. Keeping that right knee lifted, go ahead and bring the hands to the hips. We'll take 10 toe taps starting now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull that knee back in. Find that wind relieving pose for one more breath. Landing right foot next to left. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. And with the exhale, just bringing those hands towards your heart. We're going to find a couple chair postures here. So I'd like you to make sure the feet are hip distance apart here. And I am so grateful that Tom corrected me on the proper way to do a Bikram squat. So for some reason, I was in the impression that the knees needed to be together, but apparently not. So if you guys are Bikram fans, we do have a Bikram archived in our Facebook as well. And I believe it's Joe teaching it, which we all love Joe. So go ahead and make sure those feet are hip distance apart. We're going to take some chair twists here. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. And with the exhale, as you sink into your chair, open the arms out to the right. So left arm pulls in front, right arm pulls back. Inhale, arms reach up, extend your legs. Exhale, chair twist to the left. Let's do this a little faster. In and twist right. In and twist left. Use that breath. Feel that burn in the legs. Try to keep those knees apart from one another. Keep the heels locked in. Last one on both sides. Inhale, come back to center. And with the exhale, take a quick forward fold here. Shake the head, yes and no. Keep a bend in the knees. Maybe grab a drink of water if you need it. So I hope you guys are all feeling wonderful on this Thursday morning. It's absolutely beautiful out there. If you're not in your forward fold, go ahead and find your way back to your mat in your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then from your halfway lift, I want you to just sink those hips back and pull the arms forward. Now we're back in our chair squat. Bringing the hands towards the heart and finding a twist towards the right. So this is a little bit of a different chair twist than we were doing in our fluid movements. So from here, we can take a couple different options. We can get a little fancy. If you want, you can bring that left elbow onto like the outer right thigh and use this to open yourself up. If you have a arm balance in your practice, this might be a beautiful place for your side crow. I'll go ahead and give a quick demonstration. So you're going to sink down into your heels, plant the arms a little bit more forward towards the right, and that left or right thigh goes on to left forearm, and you start to hinge your weight forward and find that side crow. All right, for those of you who are still in that twist, hold here for 3. I know, 2. And 1. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Shake out the legs. We're going to go ahead and take that to the other side. So inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Hinge from the hips, forward fold. Inhale is your halfway lift. From your halfway lift, sink those hips back, arms reach forward, chair pose. From here, hands to heart, twist open towards the left. Maybe that right forearm goes on to left thigh, and you're using this activity to open your chest into your twist. If you're going for that side crow, go ahead and sit onto the heels. Bring the hands towards the left side of your mat, left thigh on right forearm, and start to hinge your weight forward. Coming back to center, coming back to your chair twist for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, coming back to center, arms reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Let's shake out those legs, empty coat sleeve the arms from side to side. And let's continue at the top of our mat. We're going to find a couple balancing postures here. So planting the weight into the right leg, pulling that left knee in towards the chest and bringing the hands to heart. From here, starting to kick that left foot back for your warrior 3 variation and landing in your crescent lunge, arms reach up, inhale. Exhale, pulling that left knee back in towards the chest. In breath. Out breath, kick left foot towards the back of the room. Inhale. Exhale to your crescent lunge. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, pulling that left knee in towards the chest. Hold for the inhale. Exhale, left leg kicks back and hold in your warrior 3 variation. Keep a deep bend in that right knee. Flex left foot. Keep that chest open. Hips are level here. Last big inhale. Exhale, landing to your crescent lunge and then dialing left heel down, opening up warrior 2. Set up your warrior in a manner that is best for your body. So that means that the feet might be close together or far apart. What it does mean is that that right foot is pointing towards the top of your mat, right knee is tracking with ankle, and that outer edge of the left foot is pressing for the back of your mat. Let's take some archer warriors here. So inhale, taking that left hand towards right, dropping it through center. Exhale, pulling like you're pulling this really strong bow. Inhale, finding that prepping. Exhale, pulling and release. Inhale, exhale. Imagine that there's tension as you pull that left arm back. We're shooting our little Cupid bows of love to the world, right? Last one here. Returning back to your warrior 2, inhale, flip right palm, reverse your warrior, and exhale, extend your warrior. One more like this, inhale, reverse, and exhale, extend. Coming back to your proper warrior 2, we're going to go for our balancing half moon this morning. So if you have blocks or a prop that is similar to a block, I want you to take that block and place it about 6 inches in front of the right toes. From here, we're going to start to prepare for our balancing half moon, bringing the weight into the right foot, keeping our gaze on that block and starting to bring the right fingertips onto your block. In this posture, the hips are open towards the front of the room. Woo! Flex that left flying foot to keep it strong, and keep a gentle bend in that right leg. From here, you're not dumping all of your weight into the right fingertips. The block is just a bit of an anchor for you. Maybe that gaze opens up towards the front. Breathe it in. Let it go. 2 more. Keep it moving. You got this. You are worthy of this last breath here. Flex that flying foot. Engage the glute. And exhale, returning back to your warrior 2 position. Lengthening that right leg, bringing the right toes to face the front or the side rather. And we'll find a wide leg forward fold by gently hinging yourself forward and allowing yourself to pause here for a couple of deep, nurturing breaths after such a tricky balancing sequence. If you like to hold static here, you can grab onto the ankles if that feels right. Maybe you're looking for a little bit of movement from side to side. Walking the hands over towards the right foot, breathe it in, let it go. Hands plant, stepping right foot back to meet left plank pose. Maybe you keep that right leg extended for your 3-leg plank. Breathe in, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to find 2 deep breaths here. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arm circle sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart. This time, transferring the weight into that left foot and bringing right knee in towards the chest. This is your inhale. Exhale is kicking right foot back for your warrior 3. Holding here, inhale. Exhale to your crescent lunge, arms reach up. In. Exhale, pulling the right knee back in towards the chest. Breathe in. And exhale, kick right foot back, warrior 3. Land in your crescent lunge. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, pulling right knee in towards the chest. Inhale. With the exhale, kicking right foot back and holding this time in your warrior 3. Notice how that right hip kind of wants to stay lifted, and try to dial that right hip down to stay in line with left hip. Flexing that right flying leg to keep that entire leg engaged. This makes balance just that much easier. Opening your chest for your last inhale. Exhale, landing in your crescent lunge. Arms reach up. And exhale, dialing right knee down, or right heel down, opening up into your warrior 2. Take your time to arrive there. Make sure that your feet are in a proper position that makes you feel sturdy. And we'll find those archer poses here, dropping right hand, meeting left, and pulling back. Inhale. Exhale, imagine it's a really, really, really heavy bow. And release. Inhale. Exhale, prepare to shoot that love to the world. Last one. Returning to your warrior 2 position. Inhale, flip left palm, reverse your warrior. And exhale, extend your warrior. One more time like this. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, extend. Return back to your warrior 2, and we'll prepare for that half moon by bringing our block 6 inches in front of the left foot. This allows you to have kind of like an anchor of where you're kind of bringing your weight towards. So left foot plants, and then you slowly start to bring those left fingertips towards your block. So you're rotating your weight. This is kind of like our warrior 3 pose here, but instead that right hip is stacked on top of left. Keep a micro bend in that left knee to protect your joint. And once again, keep that flying leg nice and engaged by flexing the right foot. We're going to hold here for 2 more breaths. Befriend that little bit of sensation in the legs. Inhale and exhale. Return back to your warrior 2. Lengthen left leg, turn the toes in, finding a wide leg forward fold as you gently hinge your way down through the center. Perhaps moving in this posture or holding static for 3 more breaths in and out. Notice how the heart is beating after those challenging standing postures, and how now the energy is kind of shifted and you're letting your blood flow kind of relax. Sometimes I see a posture like this forward fold, as almost like a pit stop. Walking the hands over towards left foot, finding your runner's lunge. Hands plant and step that left foot back to meet right for your plank pose. Maybe the left leg stays lifted in a 3-leg plank. Breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And with the exhale, let's go ahead and sink those hips back. Find your child's pose. Maybe an opportunity for a drink of water. All right, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a little sweaty. So that means that was a good standing sequence. And now we get a little bit of ab work, and then we'll get into some nice deep stretches. And like I was saying, yesterday's video, after it was done, someone commented that they wanted a little bit more neck and shoulder movement and mobility and stretches, and we started class with those postures. So if you have any recommendations or suggestions, do not be shy. I'm desperately looking for inspiration and looking for your communication, and I want to please your bodies, and I want to do what feels best for you guys. All right. Returning back into your table pose, finding a nice flat back, and then extending that right leg behind you with the toes on the ground. Start here with just some gentle presses back and forth, stretching through the right calf as well as the arch of the foot. And then picking right foot up, we're going to find a little bit of movement here. So we're going to start by bringing that right knee towards right elbow, bending. And with the exhale, we're going to send that right foot back, letting the toes land to the left side as you gaze over left shoulder. So inhale is pulling that right knee towards right elbow. And exhale is that big sweep, finding that side bend on the right side as you look over towards the left. Inhale. Exhale, sweep and land. Finding 3 more here. In and out. 2 more. Getting some hip mobility as well as getting a little strengthening through the right glute and abdominals. This time, let's pause in that side stretch. Really allow your gaze to come over towards the left side. Bringing right foot back to center, so extending the leg behind you. Toes are up off the ground. Bending that right knee in a 90-degree angle, flexing the foot. We're going to isolate our glute muscle and pulse here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release that right knee to the ground and sink back into your child's pose for a moment. So those pulses with the leg, when we have our knee in a 90-degree angle like this and we pulse, it doesn't look like we're doing much, but you guys should really feel that activity coming from your glute. You should feel each pulse. You're isolating that glute muscle and strengthening it. Coming back into your table pose, we're going to find this on the other side. So beginning with those left toes on the ground and just taking those back and forth presses, stretching through the left calf and arch of the foot. It should feel pretty nice for any of you guys who are doing a little bit more running or walking, maybe biking. And then lifting that left leg up, keeping the heel in line with the hip. This is your inhale by pulling the left knee in towards left elbow. And exhale, sweeping that left foot back, finding that side stretch. Left toes land towards the right, gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale, left knee to left elbow. Exhale, side bend. Let's find 5 more here. In and out. Feel that hip and glute working. 4, 3, 2, and last one is our very best one yet. Let's pause in that side stretch here, gazing over towards the right. And returning back into your extended left leg behind you. Bending left knee for that 90-degree angle. You guys know where we're going. Let's work that left glute for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release the knee back down. Drop the hips from left to right, maybe a semicircle. And we're going to come into our pigeon pose here. If you prefer a reclined pigeon, you can transition onto your backs. For our prone pigeon, tuck the toes under, hips lift up and back. Inhale. Right leg reaches up towards the sky. And with the exhale, pull right knee towards right wrist, sitting yourself down here. A couple modifications might be taking that block underneath right hip as a little bit of a supportive seat. Might also look like this by opening that left knee out towards the left so that you're in more of a seated posture. Wherever you landed, take the next couple breaths to find any movements that feel good. Sometimes puffing the chest up and finding a little back bend here feels really opening through that left hip flexor. And then to stretch right hip flexor, we're going to slowly hinge our way forward. I like to take a block underneath my head so that I can fully relax my shoulders and neck. And just provide yourself with enough breath here where you can start to soften any tension in the jaw, any tightness in the right hip. This posture should feel nice and restorative rather than any sort of forcing yourself into it. And each exhale can offer you this opportunity to just totally soften. Try it with me. And soften. Find 3 or 4 more of those nurturing breaths. Notice how the energy has shifted. Notice all the benefits you've done for your body. Preparing to come out of this pose by bringing the hands back down to the earth, tucking left toes under and reaching back into your downward facing dog, taking any little movements here. Eventually that left leg will reach up towards the sky, and then left knee towards left wrist, sitting yourself down. Same rules apply here. You might consider bringing that left block underneath the hip, or that block underneath left hip, or opening up right knee out towards the right. Wherever you are, this is your opportunity with the next couple breaths to play around with the placement of your body, maybe finding that chest opener and a little back bend by puffing your chest. Eventually, you'll just relax down into it and get a nice stretch through that left hip flexor. As you arrive, let's find that same intentional inhale. And exhale is a complete surrender and soften. Relax the muscles of the face, neck, shoulders, even the fingers and toes. Most importantly, try not to clench through that left hip. Let it be soft. And the interesting part of this posture is that as soon as you feel like you've softened everything, you kind of realize that you can always continue to surrender. You can always release a little bit more. And even if the physical body is released and relaxed, maybe the mental body now needs to kind of eliminate some tension. We'll find 2 more breaths here. Choosing to return back into your downward facing dog for a moment, or just go ahead and swing that right leg forward and lay yourself all the way down onto the ground. From here, starting with a full body stretch, allowing the limbs to pull apart from one another. And then with the exhale, pulling the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a squeeze, maybe a gentle rock from side to side. Keeping the right knee in towards the chest, lengthen left leg down your mat. Find this wind relieving posture here. And allowing this to turn into your twist by crossing right leg over towards the left. And finding any movements that allow this twist to be more restorative. So that might mean bending left knee as well. That might mean taking a block or pillow underneath right knee. Once you've arrived, just allow that breath to kind of take over. Trying to keep both shoulders on the earth and allowing that twist to come from the mid and lower back. So important to twist at the end of our class. Seals in all of the benefits we've created for our spine. Recalibrates for the rest of our day. Coming back to center, both knees pull in towards the chest. And then extending right leg down your mat, keeping left knee pulled in, finding this wind relieving posture here. So we did this in our standing sequence as well, finding that balancing wind reliever. Allowing this to turn into your twist, and again, finding whatever options work best for you. Personally, I like to bend both of my knees, coming into a more of a fetal-like position with my lower body, trying to keep my left shoulder on the ground. And just a friendly reminder, never force your way into any posture, especially twists. Allow gravity to kind of do the hard work for you. Coming back to center and taking any last posture of your choice. That might be a waterfall position, extending the legs up towards the sky, or maybe a happy baby, grabbing onto the soles of the feet and pulling the knees towards the armpits, trying to keep that lowermost spine on the earth. Might feel really nice here to open up into a straddle happy baby as well. We did get in a couple of hamstring stretch and wide leg forward fold, so the body should be pretty accepting of this posture. And I like to rock from side to side a little bit, massaging my glutes and the muscles next to my spine. Eventually taking the next 3 breaths to come into your final resting posture. If you need a drink of water before entering, or maybe it's a little chilly in your house and you want to put a sweater on, or just make yourself as comfortable as you possibly can. And once you arrive, just take a couple deep breaths in and out to really find your space, coming back to this image of you being a planted seed with this big sprout coming out. And just go ahead and surrender to gravity. And we're living through so much unknown right now. And there's really no way of predicting the future. And the best thing we can do is just completely surrender to gravity and the unknown. And it's all going to be okay. Om. Om. I am surrendering to gravity and the unknown. Catch me, heal me, lift me back up to the sun. I choose to live. I choose to live. I choose to live. Catch me, heal me, lift me back up to the sun. Help me survive the bottom. Oh. Sometimes we see the word surrender as defeat. But I would argue that surrendering is one of the most difficult yet empowering things you can do. And it symbolizes the strength that you have just open your heart and allow things to just unfold. Allow gravity and the unknown to catch you, heal you, and lift you back up to the sun as you choose to live. Taking a deep breath in and letting it go. Slowly starting to return back to your meditative seat, taking your time to arrive. Planting the hands over heart. And together we'll seal our practice in with our sound of Om. Taking a cleansing breath. And for Om. Om. Thank you all so much for being a part of this beautiful community. The love that resides within my heart honors and bows to the love within yours. Namaste. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in for another class at Mystic Fitness. Make sure to check out our other options on YouTube. Tell your friends and family, and I look forward to seeing you guys Sunday morning. And tomorrow will be Deba Mitra doing her Barkin series, and then of course we have our Saturday Amy class. Looking forward to seeing you guys there, and I will see you next time. Namaste.